Hello everyone, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome along. If you're new, don't forget, please hit that subscribe down there and hit the notifications bell, and you'll get notified of when I put videos out. So here I am today with a new review for you. It's another one, and this is another Japanese car from Tamiya, and it's a beauty. This is the Toyota Celica liftback turbo Group 5. Now, Group 5 cars, for those of you that don't know, it was one of the for petrol heads, it was one of the most exciting races to watch, because basically it was they used BMWs, Porsches, Lancias. In fact, I built a real replica Lancia Group 5 Monte Carlo. Some of you may have seen it. It shows and stuff. It's now in Italy, having a load of original suspension components fitted to it. So I'll show you some images of that forthcoming. I've actually got a couple of kits to show you as well. So basically, this was the Celica liftback. So it's the fastback, as we call them now. Beautiful car, very much modelled around a sort of the Mustang. You know, the 67 Mustang fastback, very much modelled on that. And I remember seeing these in the showroom on my local Toyota dealer in Patchway in Bristol, which is now, I think, been knocked down. I think it's where the Royal Mail site is now, or a bit further up. There goes Dottie. But yeah, basically beautiful, beautiful car. But boy, oh boy, do they know how to rust. So hence there's none left. Well, there are a few left, but you need a mortgage to buy one. So this kit originally came out in 1978. When it originally came out, it was motorised. And I remember seeing it as a youngster and never got round to buying it. I never realised it had a detailed engine in it. Generally, these old Tamiya kits that were motorised didn't have a lot of detail in them. But this one did. And I saw it over on the importer stand over at Telford or Telford or Scale Model, or whatever you want to call it. I get told off for what I call it. But yeah, I saw it there and thought, blimey, it's got a detailed engine. So when I saw this on eBay for £35 from eToys, which is actually a subsidiary of eModels, I thought, I'm having that. It was $35.95 with free postage. I thought, yeah, bargain. So got myself this and thought I'd it's just turned up today. Thought I'd do a review for you and see what you think. Group 5, for those of you that don't know, was basically, there were two classes. There was under 2 litre and over 2 litre. So you had the Lancias down in the bottom class, and they had a 1425cc engine, and it was turbocharged. And in those days, if you had a turbocharged engine, you had a 1.4 multiplication factor. So if you take 1,425 and times it by 1.4, I think it comes out to about 1990. So it's under 2 litre. And then you had, like, we all know the Tamiya Porsche 935s, those absolutely beautiful Martini cars and the Valent cars and everything. They were also Group 5, and they were over 2 litre, obviously. So and what happened was that Porsche, and in one of the years, I think it was 81 or was it 82, I can't remember now, but Porsche and Lancia got the fastest lap in both their classes, and they both won in their classes. So they ended up going to the last race dead level on points. So if they performed on the last race as they performed the rest of the season, I think I'm right in saying this, then they would have ended up drawing on points. So Lancia pulled one out of the bag, as they always did. Lancia, I keep calling Lancia. Lancia pulled one out of the bag, as they always did, and they entered one car with a slightly larger engine. So it became into the 2 litre class, so it could get points, and it had to go like stink, and it had to get points qualifying in the over 2 litre class. So it put them a couple of points ahead of the Porsches. So very, very crafty. This car actually, I did read on the side of the box just now, this car actually had a victory in against the Porsche 935s. We'll have a look at that in a second. I haven't looked inside this box. I'm going to share it with you because I think it's a very exciting car. Basically, these things 6'6" wide or 2 meters wide, so you can tell they're absolutely huge. And it was unfortunate, I had one that I was building, and it was practically finished other than some wiring. And I split up my missus, and I couldn't afford a house with a garage big enough to put it in. So I ended up selling it to a guy called Ian Mackay, who he had it for years. He finished it off, and he took it all round. He took it to Le Mans, he took it to the shows. If you've been to the classic car shows at NEC, you may have seen it there. But that was the car that I built. and Group 5 Monte Carlo, and as I say, it's now in Italy. So yeah, so let's have a look around the box as we always do. So on the sides here we've got the schemes. When this kit came out in 78, you had 3 schemes. So you had 56, which is that one there, 68, which is the one on the front, but there was also a number 1, which was a different colour scheme. It was red and white rather than just the blue, but we're not getting that scheme in this boxing by the look of it. So here we go, we can see on the side of the box there, and you can see how ridiculously wide the car was compared to a standard Celica. But this is what I love about them, because they had to have certain aspects of the original bodywork. So you could have a wing, you could have a front spoiler that couldn't stick out any more than a certain distance over the original bonnet line, but the roof profile had to remain the same. It's like if you look at a Group 5 Monte Carlo from the side, it looks identical to a Monte Carlo, other than it's got this extended back, so for the big wing and everything. So yeah, that very clever cars, very clever designs. And you can see here it's got 1978 to 2023, so it's showing it was tooled in 78. We've also got, I've seen for the first time, we've got LP called up. LP70 gloss aluminium, one of my favourite LP paints. It's the first time I've seen LP called up on my kit. End of the box, there we go. We can see we've got cartograph decals in this one, which is good to know because Tamiya decals can be awful. And this one is 20072. And then here we've got the 68 version, which is the one that's on the front of the box. And you can see the car made its debut in July 77, and in October of the same year beat Porsche 935 and achieved its maiden victory. So and you can see on here it's 1/20th scale, 240mm long, 105mm wide, 61mm high. Power form, the silhouette formula is captured in style, features authentic renderings of engine and cockpit and roll cage, includes high quality cartograph decals and one driver figure. Yay! So let's have a look at the box. This is the first time I've looked at it here. So good old Tamiya packaging. Once again, you're not going to get any damage in there. So we've got beautiful body. You can see it's absolutely huge. It's a shame it's not 24 scale, because 20th is a bit odd. I have got the Porsche 935 from Tamiya, and I've also got the Fiat 131 rally car, so it would have something to go with it if I built them. So we've got a black sprue here. We've got a clear sprue there. Hopefully it's not scratched or anything. Looking good. We've got some chrome parts there, or silver plated should I say. Some more blue body parts, some tyres. Well, we do have the battery box, so if you wanted to motorise it, if you've got the bits and pieces, you could. Floor there. We've got the wheels and the rear wing there, all chrome plated. It's actually looked quite nice for chrome plated, really, to be honest. No, it's a bit dull on the backside, and we've got bloody ejector pin marks in it, so probably have to be stripped and redone. Got decal sheet there. That's always good with these re-released kits. It's always good that because the one thing with buying them out, if you really have a hankering to build one of these and you buy one of the originals, you can just count your bottom dollar that the decal sheet will be absolutely knackered. So we'll take the body out of there as well, and we'll stick that over there in the lid, and then I can chuck the box over there on the side. So let's have a look at the instructions. So we've got lots of history there about the car, so you can have a read of that in your various different languages. You can do a screenshot and have a read of that should you want to. There we go. Right, so going in here, typical Tamiya booklet, very nice indeed. I noticed on the Scalemates website it says that this has new parts for 2023, which is when it was re-released. I'm not sure that it does. I can't think where they could add new parts. We'll see. This has got a new sprue, we shall see. So there's our two options. Select either marking option A or B referring to pages 10 and 11. Assemble model following relevant instructions. So there's obviously going to be differences going through. So here we've got the floor pan telling us to remove that sprue gate there and there. And it's telling us to paint the body in blue, but the floor pan will be aluminium. So although you can see this silhouette of this body, all that's actually original car body is what you can literally see there. The rest of it is cut away. I mean, the Monte Carlo I know because I built a real one. Between the bottom of the windscreen and the bottom of the rear screen was all that was left of the original body shell. And the floor was cut out, replaced with aluminium. Everything else was tubular structure. So don't believe that the car is based. I've got an video of the Lancia team. I must take it out and get it put on DVD actually. But yeah, they're interviewing Cesare Fiorio, who was the Lancia team manager, and he said, yeah, the Monte Carlo is basically the same as the road car. Yeah, right. Very, very funny. What a man though, Cesare Fiorio. He took Lancia to 18 world championships in rallying and racing. Anyway, enough about Lancias. So here we've got the floor pan being painted, and then we're fitting the seat. We've got some infill pieces going in the back there. It looks like we've got the tank. There's some great paint instructions in this. So those who say you don't get any colour call-outs, this is brilliant. And we've got removing plating from areas to be cemented. So it looks like these parts are probably plated. Don't know why that would be. So here we've got the central console. We've got some gauges to go in there with decals, and then we've got the fuel filler and the access ports for the bag tank in the back, and then we've got the oil tank there for the dry sump system. We've got a driver figure there should you want to install him, and then we've got roll cage going in. Again, that's all painted blue. We've got the instrument panel here supported on a couple of with the steering column supported on a couple of bars from the cage. So that's all nice. Again, we've got gauges to go on there, and then we're going to add the driver's arms. That's a shame. It's a shame you can't put the, well, you probably could. You could probably mock this up and then take the driver out so you can paint him. You don't want to be having to glue the arms on after you've painted him, do you? And then here we're adding the upper parts of the cage. Steering wheel here, we've got some painting instructions there. So it's aluminium in the middle and black around the outside, or semi-gloss black, should I say. We've got the cylinders, the reservoirs for the master cylinders. We've got the brakes and the clutch and everything pedal there. We've got what looks like, I'm not sure, I can't see without seeing the part, but it looks like some sort of ECU or something there. And then here we've got the sump, the bottom of the chassis rails, anti-roll bar, all the front suspension, and a very, very simplified steering rack. That's obviously for the motorised model, so you can set the wheels so it can go around in circles if you want to, playing with the dog or whatever. And then we've got the front McPherson struts, polycaps going in. There's 2 polycaps going in each side. Looks like they just push in there and stay there. And then here we have the engine starting to be built up. So we've got fuel injection lines there, and that's good. We've got fuel lines and we've got ignition lines, so that's pretty cool. Engine block going together there. We've got a little bell housing on the back, which is going to go to an intermediate shaft. It's probably got a transaxle. And then we got the cam cover going on, the intake with the plenum on it, and then we got the that's from the fuel pump. It's probably got Cage Electronic fuel pump or a Japanese equivalent. Detail painting there for that small belt on the front, and then we've got the distributor cap going on there. And then here we're wiring the engine up, fitting the exhaust manifolds, and then we're fitting the turbo. Huge, great turbo, lag like hell, but probably revs to about 9,000 revs, and it's probably got a power band between 8,600 and 9,000 revs or something like that. It would be something stupid on a car like this, but probably putting out about 500 horsepower. So here we have the pipes for the big intercooler on the front. That is a massive intercooler. Look at the size of that. This bloody thing's as big as the engine. We've got the in fact, that may be the water cooler. No, the water coolers are here by the look of it. Bloody hell, that's huge. And then we've got the scuttle panel going on, and we've got the chassis supports going in, and then here we've got some more bits and pieces going into the chassis. Oh, that's the exhaust pipe, sorry. I thought that was the chassis there. Exhaust pipes, and we've also got the radiators here to get those painted up nicely. LP5 is black. Okay, semi-gloss black. And then we've got the there's the transaxle there going into the rear. Oh, that's the front end. Okay, so it's the gearbox is kind of in the middle of the car then. Is that right? Or is it pushed up against the back of the engine? I'm not sure if it's actually fitted to the back of the engine. It looks like it's distant from the engine. Push back. Wheels going on with the brake cooling fins on there, and then we're assembling it's got a live rear axle that 4-link rear suspension, a power 5-link with the panhard rod, and then we've got fire extinguisher bottles down in there going in. Got decals for those as well. Tyres going onto the wheels, telling us how to take parts off the body, give it a clean up, give it a coat of paint, paint the handles in. X11. Fitting the windows, telling you to use Tamiya's own multi-purpose cement, which is basically a clear glue, I would recommend this one if you don't have that Tamiya one. You can't get it where you are. There we are, the Ultra Glue. Very nice indeed. And then here we have rear light lenses. It's telling us how to paint those. Interior door cards. Got that rear panel there with the painting and the trim and everything. How to paint the door cards. And then we're going to fit the chassis into the body. It looks like the body goes in on those poly caps. So that's all just press fitted on. And then here we've got the rear wing going on. Remember, that was chrome. And we've got these side panels going in. And then all going down together. Attaching rear wing, that's version A and that's version B. So we've got A4, A5. So the only difference is on version A, the wing is actually further back. So do we have version A, version B in the back of the instructions? We can look in a sec because we're going to be there in a minute. Building up the front end, adding in the headlights with the lenses and everything. And then we've got these lenses going over the front. Looks like very much like a Forenza, doesn't it, on the front? A droop snoot Forenza. And then we have... Here we go. Here we have the rear view mirrors, obviously very, very aerodynamic. And here you can see, yeah, there's the difference in the rear wing. So there's number 68. The rear wing is actually put out further, and on this one it's actually mounted between. So there you go. So here we have the all the decals. There are decals missing for this, and Taboo do a set, as do KMP. I've had a look on the website. On the Spot Model website, and I've ordered the Taboo ones. They're only about $5, but you've got no, as with all the modern Tamiya kits, there's no sponsorship decals. So you've got no tire decals. There's no tire decals on the car. So we've got Shell, Dunlop, and Castrol are missing. So you can basically buy that decal sheet. So it's got the tire decals and the decals for the bodywork. So you can actually make the car look a bit more realistic. But you can imagine it's a beautiful looking car in that lovely bright blue colour. It's lovely. So there we are. So there's the instructions. As I say, we've had a look at the body. Very nice indeed. So we can see what it's like for sink marks and things like that. Let's have a look. Put those bags there, deal with the staples. Very, very shiny. Some would be tempted to use this body as is and put decals on it. I would be very, very careful, because what will happen is the decals will just peel off. They won't stay on there. So I've heard people talk recently about building model cars and having nice shiny plastic parts so you can use them. But if you've got to apply decals, they won't stay on there. We've got some mould seams on here, but the roof is nice and flat. There's no undulations or anything in it. There's nothing wrong with the front scuttle panel there. Nothing wrong back here. It's all very nice. It's all very smooth. We do have a bit of a sink mark there. Okay, so where you've got that raised area there on the rear, there's a bit of a sink mark. You can see it there. I'm going to leave the light off. I think it's better for seeing things like this. We've got a seam line there. We've got a seam line which is going across here, up there, along there and down there. So that's all going to have to be sanded out. Yeah, it's very nice. It is very, very nice. You can see the original Celica rear end there. That would have been probably a fiberglass moulding. They had to have the rear panel up to a certain time. I think in 81 they lifted it, but they had to have this rear. They had to have the rear panel of the original car, and then they took it away so you could have the back end completely open and obviously let the air out. But up to a certain point in Group 5, they had to have the original rear panel. So there we go, that's the actual body, and then we've got the front end. So I'm being careful with these staples. I don't want any getting on the floor because of puppy's paws. So there we go, there's the front end, so you can see how the body is going to look. You get an idea how big the car is. It's quite a big model. As I say, it's a shame it's 20th scale, not 24th, but it's a nice size to work with. It's not too big like 12th scale, and it's not too small like 24th. But this is lovely. I mean, you can see that it's nice and flat. There's no work required on that bonnet at all. We've got the strakes down the side there, which they had for downforce. Kept the air onto the bonnet, so it pushed the front down. Beautiful front spoiler there. I mean, this is really lovely. You can see the sides there are really nice. I mean, you've got to remember, this all looks quite soft, and it is. That's why it looks soft, because it is. This is all fiberglass, and it's all just molded for aerodynamics. It's not supposed to look pretty. It's just fiberglass. It's not going to be as good as pressed metal panels and stuff. So, you know, that's why it's like it is. But it's nice. We've got some little tabs to break off on there. But other than that, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Complete lift off front end, as most of the cars had. So there we are. Very good looking car. Okay, so decals. Here we go. I've got this staple out of the bag. And we can see here we've got beautiful decal sheet made by Cartograph, which is really nice. So we've got the 56 and the 68. We've got Rodenstock, the main sponsor. They're a glasses manufacturer, or glasses lens manufacturer. You can see we've got glasses down the bottom here in white. I don't know if you can quite make them out. Apparently very high quality German glasses. We've got instruments there for the instrument panel. We've got Toyota, Turbo Lader, KKK. We've got the white and yellow flashes for the bonnet. And then we've got the Toyota badge there. I guess that's for the wing. And then this is going to be a sun strip. So we've got a Toyota sun strip there. And we've got a Schnitzer Rodenstock sun strip there. They're beautifully done. They're really beautifully in register. No excess carrier film. Really, really nice. We've got Getrag there, which is obviously the transmission manufacturer. ATE, which is brakes. And then we've got Bosch, obviously electronics and all sorts of bits and pieces. Bilstein suspension. Ertl, don't be confused with Ertl thinking that's the model company. I think you'll find that's John Ertl, who was a driver. And then Mal for pistons, ASS, whatever that is, ASS. And there we go. And then we've got the electrical warnings there for the to show the marshals where the electrical cutoff is, and then we've got the fire extinguisher markings there to show them where the fire extinguisher hitting thing is, whatever, pulling lever, bomb. Where did I get bomb from? Button. There we go. So there we are. Now you'll notice on here, as with most modern Tamiya kits, you will notice if you look at the box art and you compare it to an old box art from the original production, you will see there's no tyre lettering, there's no tyre sponsors on the bodywork, and also there'll be other sponsors missing because Tamiya no longer have the license for them, and the manufacturers have made the license way overpriced, so they don't bother. So you'll find that, if you look at the old Le Mans cars, the 24th scale Le Mans cars, you'll find that they will have the old ones will have tyre decals. Remember the Letraset type, the rub-on ones, and they'll have tyre sponsor decals for the bodywork. So Tamiya have decided not to include those, but this company here, I got these from Spot Model, company over in Spain. Absolutely brilliant company. Have a look for your car model stuff. That's them there. www.spotmodel.com. Fantastic organisation, and yeah, they've put this sticker in. I'm guessing that's about 20th scale. That's a Porsche 911 bonnet, isn't it? 20 years of Spot Model. So that's very nice. And I don't know what this is all about. Kalmakai sample page. I don't quite know what that's all about, but it's there. But here we have some decals, and this is from Taboo Design, and this is number 20162, Turbo Group 5 option. And you can see here we have tyre decals for the tyres themselves, and then we have the Castrol and the Shell and the Dunlop, which are the missing sponsors decals from the kit. So you can just buy this. This was about, I think it was about £5. So yeah, well worth having. Spot Model always put their sticker on everything. But yeah, well worth having for the just to add a bit of a bit more life to the model, especially the tyre decals. So there we go. Right. Okay, so let's have a look at this big black sprue. So I'm guessing this is sprue A. Is it A? No, this is sprue B. Okay, as usual, I got it wrong. So sprue B is here. So we have staples as well. So we have, that's the rear under tray area. There's our transmission. That's going to the back of the engine. There's our Celica rear panel, looking lovely. There's our instrument panel there. We have door cards. So one side, I'm guessing they had to have original door card in one side or something. I'm not sure, and that one doesn't. I don't think the Lancia didn't have door cards. There's our front McPherson struts, there's our exhaust manifold. It's all quite simplified. You've got to remember, guys, this is a 1978 kit, so what is it, 22, it's 47 years old. So it's older than a lot of you watching this, I expect. Pedals there, we've got some sink marks in the middle of the pedals. Steering column by the look of it. Got those lovely discs on the front wheels to direct air. We've got a piece broken off of there, that's unfortunate. Oh no, it's not, they're missing on both of them, so obviously it's not supposed to be there. But beautiful, crisp. Well, you look at this, it's a 1978 tool. It doesn't say 1978 anywhere that I can see. Bloody hell, does that say 1976? No, 1978. 1978 Tamiya. This is what Tamiya could do in 1978. And look at what another kit I'm currently working on has produced in 2024. It's incredible, isn't it? Incredible. So here we have a large blue sprue, a roll cage. Good old roll cage, I love building roll cages. I'm actually very into it. I've got 2 Tamiya, in fact I've got 4 Tamiya cars that are currently worth a fortune, and what I've done is built the roll cage because I love building roll cages. I remember sitting out in the garden one day in the summer and built all 4 of them, just the roll cages, nothing else. And if I'd not, those kits would now be worth a fortune. But hey ho. So here we have the front end. That looks like something off a Buick, doesn't it? That looks like something off a Buick or something. So we've got the upper bars for the roll cage there. Here's the main side frames. We've got our rear wing supports there. They're going to be nice and solid, aren't they, where they slot down into the body. But yeah, very nice. But notice there's no flash, it's all crisp and clean. We've got ejector pin marks in here, which you're going to have to get rid of. But, you know, for 1978, it's incredible. It's like that 240Z I did last week. It's just... Tamiya are just up there, aren't they? They are probably the best. I mean, the others are catching up fast. Look out, Tamiya, they're catching you fast. But there we go. So there's our engine block, nicely detailed. We've got all the water pump detail there. Water pump detail on the front, should I say, sorry. And then we've got our bits and pieces there for our wiring. Here we've got the battery box. So this is where you used to put a couple of AA batteries and the motor would sit in there. You used to get the metal tabs and stuff and the gear to drive the wheels. And that would basically replace this piece here. I showed you this piece here, and that's going to glue up into the floor. And what you would do, I looked on the instructions on ScaleMates, you'd use that instead of that and have it motorized. I don't know if you could sort of swap it out and have a choice. There we go. We can see our driver figure there. It's got quite a softly molded face, no visor, but it's amazing. It's a face, and my camera is picking up on it. So that's incredible. We've got a water header tank there. There's our turbo parts. Pulleys there. It's all nice. It's all there. It's all nicely molded and it's crisp and clean. You know, it's amazing, isn't it, for its age. So we've got a chrome sprue here. Which I think, for those who are fussy, it would need to be stripped and repainted because A, those rims would never be that shiny, and B, you've got these great big ejector pin marks. I'm not sure where that goes, I don't remember where that goes, but that's got some sink marks in it, you can see in the chrome. So you might want to strip that. I mean, obviously leave the headlights, they're nice chrome. But I think everything else could be stripped, and then give these a nice polished aluminium. We'll paint the centres first in gold, mask them off, then do a nice polished aluminium around the outside, unmask them, give them a wash, pick out the spokes. Lovely. There's our mirrors there. There's that rear wing. You see we've got a bit of a mould seam along the front of that wing which we want to get rid of. So really, and you've got the ejector pin marks on the back, so really it'd be good just to strip it and repaint it. It never would have been that shiny anyway. So I don't think I need to put that back in the bag, do I? Because we're going to strip it. Here we have the silver plated sprue. Now I'm not sure if this would have been silver plated back in the day, but it is now. So there you can see we've got our lovely big double overhead cam cover. Got our dry sump tank there, which is nice. Massive intercooler. I hope that's on the bottom, where the sprue gates are. And then we've got, there's the that's the oval plate for getting into the fuel tank. And then we've got the circular plates, that's the fuel filler there, or the access point, and that's another access point there. There's the top of the oil tank, and you can see on there it's got OEL. So whether this car was built by a German team, I don't know. It's something we can research, isn't it? There's the front of the intercooler, and there's those wing plates to get the wing to move back. So yeah, throttle bodies there. Nice. Very nice. Chassis, floor pan, whatever you want to call it. So this is going to also get painted blue, so you probably want to get it all primed first. And there you can see, this is lovely. You can see there we've got the texture on the bag tank in the back. So it's probably an ATL fuel cell or something. Very nice indeed. We do have ejector pin marks all over the place, so they're going to have to go. They're raised, which is nice, so they'll just cut and sand off. But you can see we've got that structure on the floor there, so this would have been a sheet of aluminium. There would have been a box, that's like 1-inch box section, whatever, and the seat bolted to that, and that's it. If these guys had a high-speed incident, they weren't coming out of it. You know, it's the same as the Porsche 917s. There was just no chance you were going to survive, really. Although people did, didn't they? We can see on there again, 1978 Tamiya. We've got some sinkage around there where those thick frames are, but, and here's an excuse for Tamiya, I would do it if it was such an area as well. I'm guessing that in reality, because you don't really have it on this side, but in reality where the driver gets in and puts his feet and everything, you probably would have some stretch metal around there. So, you know, but yeah, we've got raised rivets there, so we have to be careful not to sand them off, but we have got ejector pin marks all over the place that are going to have to go. I'm not sure if they're ejector pin marks or if they're supposed to be there. There's gauges there, we've got decals for them. That's very nice, isn't it? Very nice. And then here we have the clear sprue. So let's see what these clear parts look like. This is what let the 240Z down, wasn't it? The windows, and particularly those horrible moulded vinyl bloody window frames they've done. I saw a Japanese guy build a beautiful job, and then saw what he'd done with those windows. He just couldn't get it to look good. He just gave up in the end. There's a build of it on YouTube if you want to go and have a look. So here's our windows. Cool, blimey, they're lovely. Look at that. They're really nice. On that 240Z we had distortion up in the top corners, but none of that here. It's lovely. It really is lovely. Look at that. It's beautiful. Very nice indeed. We've got the headlamp covers there. There's our rear lights. That really is very, very nice indeed. I'm going to get that staple out of there for fear of scratches. Goodbye staple, and then we'll put that back in there so it doesn't get scratched. Lovely. And then finally we have this bag here. I'm not going to open this because it's got screws and pins and stuff in it. We've got some vinyl tires, some solid tires. Yep, they're pretty much solid. We've got an axle shaft there, and then we've got some rivets. Rivet. We've got some vinyl wire for the HT leads. We've got some poly caps in there. So yeah, very nice. I'm not sure how tight these tyres will fit in the bodywork. You can see they look really good. As I said, I saw this on the importer stand at Scale Model World, and I was really impressed. It looked beautiful. It's such a lovely size. It's just a shame you can't get many more 20th scale cars. I mean, it'd go great alongside your Formula 1 cars. It would give them a sort of feeling for size, wouldn't it, I guess? But there we go. So that has been the classic old Celica liftback turbo Group 5 in 1/20th scale. I wish they'd done a Lancia Beta Monte Carlo. That would have been a beautiful kit. I'd pay £500 for one of those now in 20th scale. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.